So let's take a moment to breathe, a pause from the doings of today. Hello breath, hello body. And with our breathing, we begin to allow for space. Space in the ribs, in the chest. Letting the breath meet certain places that perhaps it hasn't met yet today. You feel it come through the throat. Noticing perhaps a gentle stretch at the left side of the chest or at the right. With the in-breath, it comes to the spine and shoulder blades. Like the breath brings space, a freshness. And we make sure that as we listen inside, we do it with a slight sense of a smile, whether visible or just the feeling of it. And after a few breaths, maybe we notice that the breath goes deeper, meeting areas like the belly or the lower back. Keep it gentle. And we invite the belly to release a bit with the out breath from any holding or tension that may be present. And I'd invite us now to listen to in-breath and out-breath both together. Just the resting and the noticing of its journey down and up, in and out, bringing freshness, space, and release. You can accompany it a bit longer at times if you like. But let's not be forceful. Let's impregnate our whole being, every pore, every corner of the organs, the bones, the flesh, with listening. listening through the breath coming in the body, going out. And if you find yourself trying too hard, simplify. Just breath, listening in the body. Just breath. And as we breathe, the world keeps moving, the earth is turning. We still notice sounds from outside, perhaps, sometimes more, sometimes less. Sounds from the room. We still notice thought and story arise and pass. Sometimes we get lost in it. And then with the help of instruction, with the help of a shared field, we come back. In breath, out breath. And we give the system time, the body time, the mind time to slow down. Perhaps the leftovers of a busy day are still there. The echoes of our previous conversations. Whatever emotional reactions that may have occupied us today or these days. In breath, out breath. And now we allow our attention to move closer and closer to where the breath comes in at the nostrils and where it goes out, that point of contact between the outside and the inside of this body. So we make our attention smaller. We narrow down a bit our area of focus. Still rested, not trying to control the rhythm of the breath where needed and when needed. You can accompany it to becoming a bit longer if it helps you wake up a bit if you're tired, or come close again to what is arising through our own direct experience. Finding sensation there, perhaps something alike to a pressure or itching sensation, or a subtle temperature change. Sensation will be there, even if it's a numb, deadened kind of feeling. There's something there. And as we listen, it perhaps start to unveil more, in more detail and more texture. Maybe we notice more areas of the nostrils, the upper lip, the skin around the entrance, the inside. Slowly, delicately. Training our mind to learn how to quieten in presence, in attention, instead of sharpening or hardening in focus. When we come to focus, we often, due to our habit and conditioning, we tend to tense around the focus and rigidify. Instead, my invitation is different. It's more to rest. Rest in attention. It doesn't make it any less focused. In fact, quite the opposite. It is a type of attention that allows for change. It is not trying to hold on or fixate. The recognizing the ever-changing nature of what is arising, in this case, the breath. So we let it go in and let it go out so naturally. You may notice tendencies of our controlling mind. We smile at it and continue listening there. It's only habit. When it's not fed, it loses its influence. And then we want to let attention spread from the nose to the head, facial expression, eyes, cheekbones, mouth, jaw, forehead, temples. Spreading through the whole face, noticing microtensions, noticing spaces of heat, spaces of openness. Finding our ears and behind our ears, inside the head. Back of the head. Top of the head. And here we find the crown point at the very top of the head. A point that in standing practice particularly we refer to a lot. But in sitting as well. The crown point is the highest point of the head when the chin comes back a bit in a relaxed way. Body comes into increased alignment in its exploration of center. It's a point of elevation, connection to up. And from that point, a release down, as if hanging from a string from that point, so we don't lose the up. But from that point of up, we find the down. And let our attention spread down from the head, back of the head included, inside as we can. And we let it spread down through the neck, the throat. From the crown point, neck to shoulders, shoulders to arms, elbow to wrist, to hand. We've got the palm centers, the fingers and fingertips, all 10. Hands are rested, but awake, flooded with feeling. And from that crown point, head, breath coming in through the head and neck, throat, into the heart, chest, upper back. Listening through the chest, noticing the breath, the ribs, the spine, shoulder blades, shoulders, armpit area, around the whole upper part of torso, just spreading through with a simple light touch. But absorbed, dedicated, down through the torso, down to the belly, hips, lower back, bottom of the spine, tailbone, pelvic bones, bottom, finding the weight on the pillow or chair. Coming to the front, the groin area, and all the meeting point from legs to torso. Left, right, back, front. And down through the legs, thighs, come into the knee to lower part of the leg, ankles, feet, bottom of the feet. The whole area of the bottom of the feet. We have the heel, the arch, the part that touches the ground, the front of the foot, and all 10 toes. Let's rest there a moment with this body sitting, crown connected up. Allowing ourselves to take a break, to pause, pause. We let our heart soften, our chest. We let our belly and our legs settle to the ground. Our head upright, strong spine, mobile spine. We're not stuck as we sit there. And as we sit there in softness, allowing ourselves, allowing the moment. At times we meet some armored self, some hardness in the chest or in the shoulders and in the body. Make sure that as we meet that, or our incapacity to be present, to be loving, kind, patient, to be quiet and peaceful as we would like, make sure that in meeting our so-called limitations, we meet it all with care. And in that care, perhaps, we meet a certain vulnerability, a certain trembling, a tender peace. Perhaps we meet a sense of loneliness or disconnection. Meet it with soft eyes. It wants to be seen, to be met. It wishes to free itself from its plot in the shadows. Our freedom is here already, in the being of ourselves fully, in the capacity to meet also the aspects of life we usually avoid. Our freedom is here already, in the capacity of being exactly what we are. It's an innate capacity, a gentle power. It can't be forced or imposed. Let's not put more hardness on hardness. Breathe through the seen borders. They're porous. They are transparent. It is not a sealed wall. In breath, out breath. Breathe through it all. These walls, as we call them, are also ephemeral, ever-changing, as ever-changing as the breath that meets them, as ever-changing as the mind that knows them, as ever-changing as the body that contracted and tensed around them so long ago. Simply breathe and surrender to what is. Not the idea of it, but the actual being of that. We have imagined ourselves as solid for so long, trying to fix with each idea, with each conclusion, definition, label, judgment, image of ourselves and the world. In this constant search for who am I, what is real, what is true, looking for the answers in content, in thought, in form, in something graspable, holdable, knowable. But that results in struggle. There is no holding of an ever-changing moment. This struggle is the suffering that Siddhartha the Buddha spoke of in his first truth at enlightenment. And this is the core of his teaching, of his practice. Realize the truth of impermanence through your own direct experience. Check. Body sensation. Changing. Check thought. Changing. Some slower, some faster. But all is in movement, in relationship, impermanent. Let's check for ourselves. Make it our experience. An experiential knowing. Is anything fixed or tangible? Let's ask ourselves, honestly from our experience, is anything fixed or permanent in what I perceive? What can be known, truly known? Can you know anything for a fact about the manifest world, except that all which is perceived is changing? ephemeral. And isn't it so that the only way to know it is through letting it go, letting be, through abiding in the knowing itself, not the knowing of a certain thing, just an open knowingness. And you abide there, knowingness. That knowingness, that awareness of all that is and that is not, is the most intimate, the most real. Can we just simply abide as ourselves now? You're free now to be. Just be. Not be good or bad, pure or impure, right or wrong. Be. At this point, only silence can be an appropriate instruction. We're approaching the 40 minutes. For those of you who have the time, I would advise carrying this into moving meditation. For those of you who have practiced the forms, I'd advise standing and seeing where the feeling brings you, maybe upward, downward, inward, outward. And see which one of the forms wants to be expressed and practiced with today. Since we still have 2 minutes or so, I'd like to just conclude the session of the sitting part of the session, at least if you're standing again, and session continues through the life as we get up and meet the other and do in this world. May we carry this awareness forth. May our action be filled with this understanding. May be infused with an understanding of impermanence, of letting go, of union. On that note of carrying the practice into life, I use the last minute now to connect to our good wishes. May this practice and may my life be of benefit to the greater whole. May I be more courageous. May I remember sense of humor. May I be able to care for those I meet along the way. May I be able to share the benefit I receive from the practice with others, and any blessings I may receive, any merit, may that be shared. And I'd invite you to just find your own prayer, your own good wishes that resonate with this moment for you. You may say them out loud or quietly in your heart. May we learn to love together. And may this spread. May we awaken together. And may this spread.